Hey, Cancer, I need to talk to you about something that has been showing up in the cards, and honestly, the energy here is pretty significant. I just sat down to do this reading for you, and the cards that came through are telling a story that I think you really need to hear right now. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let me walk you through what I am seeing for you in the coming weeks and months. Before I dive into the cards, I just want to say that the energy around Cancer right now feels like something is shifting beneath the surface. You might not see it yet, you might not feel it completely, but there is movement happening. And the universe is definitely trying to get your attention about what is coming your way. So let me pull these cards and see what messages are here for you. The first card I pulled for you, Cancer, is Death. And I know that might sound intense right away, but hear me out, because this card is actually one of the most powerful transformation cards in the entire deck. When death shows up, it is not about literal death or anything scary like that. It is about endings that lead to new beginnings. It is about transformation at a core level. And for you, Cancer, this is telling me that something in your life is coming to a complete end. This could be a phase, a pattern, a relationship dynamic, a job situation, or even just a way of thinking that you have held on to for a really long time. What makes this interesting for you specifically is that Cancer is known for holding on. You are the crab, you have those claws, and when you love something or when something feels familiar, you do not want to let it go. You find comfort in what you know, even if what you know is not serving you anymore. But this death card is coming through to say that holding on is not going to be an option much longer. The universe is orchestrating this ending whether you are ready for it or not. And I know that sounds harsh, but I promise you there is something beautiful on the other side of this. Think about it like this. You know how sometimes you stay in situations way past their expiration date because leaving feels scarier than staying? That is what is happening right now for a lot of Cancers. You have been in this holding pattern, maybe telling yourself that things will get better, or that you can make it work, or that you just need to try harder. But the death card is saying, no, this chapter is closing, and you need to let it close so that the next chapter can begin. The energy of death is actually incredibly liberating once you stop resisting it. It is like cleaning out your closet and getting rid of clothes that do not fit you anymore. At first, it feels sad because you have memories attached to those clothes, but then afterwards you feel lighter and you have space for new things that actually fit who you are now. For some of you, this ending is connected to your emotional world. Maybe you have been processing grief, or working through old family patterns, or trying to heal from something that happened in your past. The death card is telling me that you are finally ready to release it. You are finally at the point where you can look at that old pain and say, okay, I have learned what I needed to learn from this, and now I can let it go. And that is huge, Cancer, because you carry things in your heart for so long. You are so loyal to your feelings, even the painful ones. But this is your moment to transform that pain into wisdom and move forward lighter than you have been in years. Now let me move to the second card because this one really builds on the death energy. I pulled the Knight of Wands for you, and wow, this is such a contrast to that first card. Where death is about the ending, Knight of Wands is about the beginning. This is action, movement, passion, adventure. This knight does not sit around waiting for things to happen. He goes out and makes things happen. And after the transformation of the death card, this is the energy that is going to be available to you. Here is what I am seeing with this. Once you have released whatever the death card is asking you to release, you are going to feel this surge of energy. It is like you have been carrying this heavy backpack full of rocks, and you finally put it down, and suddenly you realize, oh my God, I can run now. I can move. I can do all these things I could not do before because I was weighed down. The Knight of Wands is that feeling of freedom and possibility. It is waking up one day and thinking, you know what? I want to try something completely new. I want to take a risk. I want to go after what I really want, instead of playing it safe. For Cancer, this is particularly interesting because you are not typically known as the most impulsive or adventurous sign. You like your home, you like your comfort zone, you like knowing what to expect. But the Knight of Wands is pushing you out of that comfort zone in the best possible way. This is not about being reckless, it is about being brave. It is about trusting yourself enough to take action even when you cannot see the entire path ahead of you. And I think after everything you have been through recently, you are ready for this. You are ready to stop overthinking and just go for it. This could show up in so many different ways depending on your personal situation. Maybe you have been thinking about starting a new project or business and you have been too scared to actually do it. The Knight of Wands is saying, this is your time, take the leap. Or maybe you have been wanting to travel somewhere or move to a new place, but you have been making excuses. This Knight is telling you to book the ticket, make the move, do the thing that scares you a little bit. Or maybe it is about putting yourself out there romantically if you have been single, or bringing more passion and excitement into your current relationship if you are partnered. Whatever it is, the message is clear. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because the perfect moment is now. One thing I really want you to understand about the Knight of Wands energy is that it is about following your passion and your instincts. This is not about doing what makes logical sense or what other people think you should do. This is about tuning into what genuinely excites you and moving towards that. And I know that might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to putting other people's needs before your own. But part of your growth right now, Cancer, is learning to prioritize your own desires and dreams. You have spent so much time taking care of everyone else and making sure everyone else is okay. The Knight of Wands is your permission slip to focus on yourself and what you want for once. All right. The third card I pulled is the Ten of Swords. And okay, I know this looks intense. When people see this card, they often think, oh no, betrayal, endings, rock bottom. And yes, those themes are part of this card's energy. But I want you to understand what this is really telling you in the context of your reading. The Ten of Swords represents that moment when something has completely run its course. It is the absolute end of a cycle. And while that can be painful, it is also actually a relief in a strange way because you cannot go any lower than rock bottom. The only way from here is up. What I am picking up with this card for Cancer is that some of you have been through or are about to go through a moment of real clarity where you finally see a situation for what it truly is. You know how sometimes you make excuses for people or situations? You tell yourself stories to make things seem better than they are? The Ten of Swords is that moment when all those illusions fall away and you see the raw truth. And yes, that can hurt. It can feel like a betrayal, especially if you have been investing a lot of emotional energy into something or someone. But once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. And that truth is what sets you free. For some of you, this might be about finally accepting that a relationship is not going to change. Maybe you have been hoping that someone would treat you better, communicate more, show up differently. And the Ten of Swords is that moment where you realize they are showing you exactly who they are, and you need to believe them. This is not about them being a bad person necessarily. It is just about accepting that they are not the right person for you, or that this dynamic is not healthy. And once you accept that, you can stop wasting your energy trying to fix something that is not meant to be fixed. Or maybe this is about a work situation where you have been giving everything you have and not getting recognized or appreciated. The Ten of Swords can represent that moment of burnout where you finally admit to yourself that this job or this career path is not fulfilling you anymore. And again, that realization might sting, especially if you have invested years into this path. But it is also liberating because now you know. Now you can make different choices. Now you can redirect your energy towards something that actually aligns with who you are and what you value. The interesting thing about the Ten of Swords is that it always comes right before a new beginning. In the tarot deck, after the 10 comes the Ace, which is all about fresh starts and new potential. So even though this card can feel heavy, I want you to remember that it is actually clearing the way for something better. Sometimes we need everything to fall apart so that we can rebuild in a way that actually works for us. Sometimes we need to hit rock bottom so that we finally find the motivation to climb back up and create a life that we actually want instead of settling for what we think we are supposed to have. Moving to the fourth card now, and this is where things start to shift in a really beautiful way. I pulled the King of Swords for you, and this is all about clarity, truth, logic, and making decisions from a place of wisdom rather than emotion. After the pain of the Ten of Swords, the King of Swords represents you stepping into your power and taking control of your life with a clear mind and a strong sense of discernment. Here is what I love about this card for you, Cancer. You are such an emotional sign. You feel everything so deeply. Your emotions are your superpower, but they can also be your weakness when you let them cloud your judgment or keep you stuck in patterns that are not serving you. The King of Swords is teaching you how to balance your emotional depth with mental clarity. This is about learning to honor your feelings without being ruled by them. It is about being able to step back and look at situations objectively so that you can make decisions that are actually in your best interest. I am seeing this play out in a few different ways. First, some of you are going to find your voice in a way you have not before. The King of Swords is excellent at communication and setting boundaries. So if you have been struggling to speak up for yourself or say no to things that drain you, this energy is going to help you find the words and the courage to do that. You are going to get better at articulating what you need and what you will not tolerate anymore. And people might be surprised by this new assertiveness from you, but that is okay. You are not being mean, you are just being clear. And clarity is kind. Second, I am seeing the King of Swords energy helping you make some important decisions that you have been avoiding. Maybe you have been going back and forth about something for months, weighing the pros and cons endlessly, feeling paralyzed by indecision. This king cuts through all that confusion with his sword of truth. He helps you see what the right choice is, even if it is not the easy choice. And once you make that decision, you are going to feel so much relief because staying in indecision is exhausting. Making a choice, even a difficult one, at least moves you forward. Third, this card is about taking a more strategic approach to your goals and your life. Instead of just reacting to whatever comes your way, the King of Swords plans ahead. He thinks about the long-term consequences of his choices. He does not get swept up in momentary emotions or distractions. For you, Cancer, this might mean creating some structure and strategy around what you want to build in your life. Maybe you need to make a plan for your career growth, or create a budget for your financial goals, or think strategically about your relationships. Whatever it is, the King of Swords is encouraging you to use your mind as a tool to create the life you want. One more thing about this card. The King of Swords can also represent mentorship or guidance from someone who has wisdom and experience. So pay attention to people who come into your life over the next few months who might be able to teach you something or guide you in some way. This could be a mentor in your career, a therapist or counselor who helps you process emotions in a healthy way, or even just a friend who is really good at giving logical advice when you are caught up in your feelings. Be open to receiving guidance from people who can see things more clearly than you can right now. The fifth card is the Four of Pentacles, and this one is really interesting because it brings up themes around security, control, and fear of loss. When the Four of Pentacles shows up, it usually means someone is holding on too tightly to something. This could be money, possessions, relationships, control over a situation. There is this fear that if you let go or loosen your grip, you will lose everything. So you hold on tighter and tighter, but that actually creates more stress and limits your ability to receive new blessings. For Cancer, this makes so much sense because you are naturally inclined to hold on to things. You value security and stability. You want to know that the people you love are not going anywhere and that your home and finances are safe. There is nothing wrong with wanting security, but the Four of Pentacles is showing me that for some of you, this need for security has turned into a fear-based pattern of control that is actually blocking your growth and your abundance. Let me give you some examples of what this might look like. Maybe you are staying in a job that pays well but makes you miserable because you are afraid of the financial instability that might come with making a change. The Four of Pentacles is that fear keeping you trapped. Or maybe you are holding on to money so tightly that you are not allowing yourself to invest in opportunities or experiences that would actually enrich your life. Or maybe in relationships, you are being controlling or possessive because you are afraid of being abandoned or hurt. That fear is actually pushing people away instead of keeping them close. The message of the Four of Pentacles is that you need to find a healthier relationship with security. You need to trust that you can let go a little bit without everything falling apart. You need to believe that there is enough, that you are enough, that you will be okay even if things do not go exactly according to plan. This is about shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. It is about understanding that when you hold on too tightly, you are actually cutting off the flow of energy and resources coming to you. I want you to think about this in a literal, physical way for a second. If you make a fist and clench it as tightly as you can, your hand starts to hurt and you cannot receive anything because your hand is closed. But if you relax your hand and open it up, yes, you might lose what you were holding, but now you have space to receive something new and potentially better. That is what the Four of Pentacles is teaching you. The act of releasing and trusting is what creates space for new blessings to come in. This card is also encouraging you to be generous. When we operate from fear and scarcity, we hoard resources. But when we operate from trust and abundance, we are willing to give and share because we know there is more where that came from. So maybe this is your invitation to be more generous with your time, your money, your love, your knowledge. Notice how it feels to give without expecting anything in return. Notice how that actually opens up more flow in your life rather than depleting you. Now, the sixth and final card, and this one really ties everything together beautifully. I pulled the Six of Wands for you, Cancer, and this is such a positive, victorious card. The Six of Wands is about success, recognition, achievement, and public acknowledgement. This is you coming out on the other side of all these challenges and transformations and being celebrated for how far you have come. This is your victory lap. After everything the previous cards have shown, the journey through endings and transformations and painful realizations and learning to use your mind wisely and releasing control, the Six of Wands says that you are going to come through all of this stronger and more confident than ever, and people are going to notice. You are going to receive recognition for your efforts. You are going to achieve something that you have been working towards. You are going to feel proud of yourself in a way that maybe you have not felt in a long time. For some of you, this recognition is going to come in your career or creative work. Maybe you have been working on a project or building towards a goal and it is finally going to pay off. You are going to get that promotion, or your work is going to be acknowledged publicly, or you are going to reach a milestone that feels really significant. And this is not about ego or showing off. This is about genuinely feeling good about what you have accomplished and allowing yourself to be seen and celebrated. For others, the Six of Wands might be about personal victories that are more internal. Maybe you have been working on your mental health or healing from trauma or building your self-confidence. The Six of Wands is that moment where you realize how much you have grown. You look back at where you were a year ago or even 6 months ago, and you can see the progress so clearly. And that recognition from yourself, that acknowledgement of your own growth, is just as important as external recognition. What I really love about the Six of Wands as your final card is that it shows you that all of these challenges and changes are leading somewhere good. You are not just going through difficult transformations for no reason. You are being refined and strengthened so that you can step into a higher version of yourself. And when you do, When you emerge from this period of growth, you are going to inspire other people. Your story is going to matter. The way you handled these challenges with grace and courage is going to be something that others look up to. The Six of Wands also encourages you to own your achievements and not downplay them. Cancer, you have a tendency to be humble to a fault sometimes. You do not want to brag or take up too much space. But this card is saying it is okay to be proud. It is okay to celebrate yourself. It is okay to let people know what you have accomplished. You do not have to dim your light to make other people comfortable. Shine bright and let yourself be seen in your full glory. So Cancer, when I look at all 6 of these cards together, I see such a powerful story of transformation and growth for you. You are moving through endings into new beginnings. You are learning to balance your emotional depth with mental clarity. You are releasing control and fear-based patterns. And you are stepping into a period of recognition and success that you have earned through all of your hard work and personal development. The universe is absolutely supporting you right now, even when things feel difficult or uncertain. Trust the process, trust yourself, and know that what is coming is so much better than what you are leaving behind. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Are you resonating with these cards? What endings or transformations are you experiencing right now? What victories are you working towards? Let me know because I love hearing your stories and seeing how the cards are playing out in your actual lives. And if this reading helped you or gave you some clarity, I would appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. I do readings for all the signs regularly, and I would love to have you as part of this community. Sending you so much love and support, Cancer. You have got this.